What's up, everybody? PG Braun here, president of Blackstone Labs, and this is a very special day. If you've been following along, and you know that the head of my shipping department, Chelsea, aka Durden Says, if you're following her on Instagram, would you say was gifted with 3-day-old baby kittens?
I would say gifted, blessed, whatever you want to call it, because my friend called me and said that she found a litter of kittens in her backyard, and she was like, help, I don't know what to do. She told me that she called like the nearest couple shelters, and they all said that they were gonna put them down because they don't have the resources to, you know, bottle feed kittens. And I called literally every single shelter, you know, in the Tri-County area, and I couldn't find anything. So I said, bring them to me and I'll figure it out. And then a few hours later in my bathroom is where I FaceTimed you and said, you're not ready for this. And then I turned the camera on the kittens. So this morning, my friend found a litter of kittens in her yard that was abandoned, and now they live in my bathroom.
Something happened, and it was either a tragedy. Well, regardless, I suppose it's a tragedy no matter what. But there are kittens, abandoned kittens, and either the mother had them and died, or some scumbag just dumped them. But the head of my shipping department, who we all love, Chelsea, aka Durden Says on Instagram, has them. They're so young that only one of them's eyes are open right now. And because of what's going on in the world with this ridiculous coronavirus, most vets will not take in animals like that. They will be euthanized, which is the last thing in the world that we want. 3-day-old cats can't even see yet. Their eyes are closed. They can't walk. They can't do anything other than basically sleep and drink like a regular, like human baby, but they had no mama.
Hey team. It's 2:45 in the morning, and there is no protein in this shaker. No sir, this is powdered kitten formula. Alrighty, just had a successful breakfast with my bad boy Hawkeye here and the rest of his brothers and sisters. I actually don't know if Hawkeye is a boy or a girl. I don't know, they're basically amorphous blobs at this point. They're all super active, super like hungry. Everybody's eating really well. Thor is somehow still alive, and the vet at like 5 in the morning, they didn't charge me anything. They gave me glucose to like give him like 1 drop under the tongue to like perk him up if he's like really lethargic and having issues eating. And they're like, yeah, just, you know, cross your fingers basically. They're mobile to the point where they like escape. Like they escaped the little bed thing, so I had to take them out of it and put them in back in just like the laundry bin, and they still like climb out of that. It's wild. So they're all doing pretty well except for Thor.
She reached out to me. As she said, I've already fostered baby cats before, so I'm by no means an expert, but I've already done it. So I said, let me grab some supplies and I will come and meet you at the office. What do you think of this whole thing?
I think it's great. I think we found them for a reason, and we're going to give them the love and attention and care that they need. And
when we got to meet all the babies together for the first time, we realized that one of them, Thor, who you guys will see very briefly in this video, was extremely, I can't even use the word ill. I think that he was probably
really lethargic. The vet, because I took them all the first day to the vet, and she said that she suspected he might have had cerebellar hypoplasia, which is something that the mother cat passes to 1 or more kittens in the womb, just because he would take his head and it would like lean down to one side and he wasn't really suckling. 5:30 a.m. kitten update. We're back at the vet with just Thor. Everybody else is doing good because he's still really lethargic. and now he's having a lot of trouble eating. He's trying to suckle, he wants to eat, but it's like he's too weak, like he can't. So I'm here seeing if they have more luck with it. There's only so much you can do with kittens that are this age, and I'm just hoping we can save him because Thor's a little fighter. And if anyone is thinking of not spaying and neutering their pets, I've been sleeping in my bathroom tonight on the floor next to a laundry basket full of kittens and heating pads. So spay and neuter. Thor's doing the best he can. He's sleeping now. This is a real thing, by the way, that you do the stuffed animal thing, so to imitate that he's with his siblings.
He looked different than the other cats. You could tell he was not in a good shape, and one of my friends who owns a shelter, said, look, I'm just gonna be flat out honest with you. That one is most likely not gonna make it more than a day or so. It's not your guys' fault. Just do the best that you can to keep the cats healthy and alive. So, rationalizing it, I said to Chelsea, listen, do your best with this one. If it makes it, it's a miracle, but we gotta keep these other babies alive, and we'll worry about who's gonna get them 8 weeks from now. From now till then, it's just gonna be me and you, as much as you want, or as little as you want me to help. I love doing stuff like this, and so, we've been going back and forth with the cats the whole time, and the time has flown by.
Ready?
The old switcheroo.
Ready? 1, 2. All the pressure.
Good morning. Good morning. Do you say good morning to the babies, Jack? Do you say good morning to all these babies, Jackie? Do you love the babies so much, Jackie? It's been, for me, and I think Chelsea will say the same without getting, too personal. You guys know my whole life, but I'm not going to get personal with hers. But without getting overly personal, this quarantine sucked really bad for everybody. But the most special part, if you can find some silver lining in a situation like this, was being able to raise these kittens. And
Because we had so much time on our hands to really take the time that they needed,
And Marissa got thrown into it because,
She
I
always
loved it
does.
she always does.
They were great though.
And guys, when you see kittens like this, my DMs started blowing up, so did hers, from people that were like, I want one, and it's so fun to have a baby kitten, but it's a lot different than what you think. Now, the age they are now, they're getting to be the point where it's okay, you can introduce them and it's normal. When you get them at 3 days old, neonatal, till this point, we are bottle feeding them every 2 or 3 hours, no matter what. You're weighing them to make sure you're feeding them the right amount.
Stimulating
them,
I didn't
which
even know
cleaning
that,
them up,
yeah.
keeping them on heat constantly because they can't regulate their own body temperature at that age.
they poop on each other, not intentionally, but then they can't take baths because same reason they can't regulate their body temperature. So you have to give them little wet baths yourself with wet wipes, and they can only have little Dawn soap, and it's a very delicate and it's nothing like having an actual child, because there was a bunch of people that were like, try having real kids, and I'm by no means saying that at all. And I will also say, for all of the puppy people, because I love dogs too, that I would take 5 baby kitties over 1 puppy any day of the week, because training a baby puppy is a huge pain in the butt.
What are you doing down there?
Everyone should be able to experience this
Oh my god, this is the best
one
ever.
time in their life.
Baby's first ever non-bottle. And this is a big moment because she is the smallest one and has not been latching great on the bottles. Especially apparently this past week, she's much smaller.
Good girl.
So this is a very good sign. What is it? What? What does that mean? Doesn't mean you're hungry. As cute as they are a good amount of work, but the reward is that they're super healthy and they're all very lovable, and now they are ready to be adopted. And you guys will see, going through the video, everything that we talked about, like for instance, stimulating them in the bathroom. We made a video on that and all the other things. But on adoption day today, since we both love the babies so much, and it started to really stress me out for a couple of weeks actually, and the only person that I really got into it too much with was my mom. So thank you to my mom for always being the voice of reason to me. I couldn't bear with the thought of just pulling one of the babies away from its brother or sister, even though it happens all the time, and I'm sure they would be completely fine. But when I expressed that to Chelsea, I said, listen, if the original plan was you were gonna definitely take a cat and I was gonna take a cat or possibly two, why not take one more? I'll take the rest, and they can all stay together, and they can all see each other anytime, and they stay in the family, and it keeps everything super happy and in one spot. And she agreed. She thought it was a great idea as well. So instead of announcing adoption day today, we are announcing that the babies are staying with us. And right from the start, Chelsea had said that she had felt a little bond with little Captain America right here, who, even though he's little, is definitely the alpha male of the group.
He was the first one to learn how to level
First one to learn how to poop. Right away, I felt a bond with Hulkster, mostly because I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that he has the same hair as our president, Donald Trump. And I've been calling him Trumpy because of how hilarious his hair is. But he is the biggest of all of them, but he's also the laziest and
He's the most laid back.
Yeah, he's really, really
You
chill.
could turn him upside down, he'd just be like, this is fine.
He looks almost animated. His features are very big and.
So they're named after the Avengers, and usually when you have a litter of some sort of animals, people often give them themed names, and so Chelsea gave them Avenger names, and they all have funny nicknames. And so it's kind of funny is, Tony Stark, which was the only one that wound up not matching the name because it's a female, and nobody knew when she was a baby. We've actually on the side been calling Mangy the whole time because she was just really mangy and gross compared to the other one. So we figured we should try to come up with a nicer, cute name than Mangy, because she wound up being a pretty female cat. But they're all doing super happy and super healthy. And really the whole reason that I wanted to do this video is, obviously it's a cute story, and anybody that doesn't think the story is cute is a douchebag.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that anybody that watches this, whether you like animals or not, please, if you do have animals, if you know people that have animals, spay and neuter your pets. And there are way too many baby cats and baby dogs all over the place. The poor dogs in Miami, you have all these pit bulls and stuff that nobody wants to adopt. At least kitties are cute and people will take them, but there's way too many of them. So what happens is they just get put to sleep, all because of people being lazy and not doing a simple little thing like spaying or neutering. So please spay and neuter your pets. And one last thing, if you watch this video, please donate to Miami Animal Shelter. They are personal friends of mine, and they actually helped me out a lot with any advice that I had or needed this whole time. And to any of my friends who are vets that helped me out with information along the way, I want to thank them as well. I think it's extremely important, and definitely people are going to get mad that I say this, but I think it's extremely important that you have friends in fields that you don't do business with. And the reason I'm saying that is I have friends that are veterinarians that live in California, so they know that I'm not bringing my dogs or cats to them, so they're just giving me the straight up honest answers on what I need to do versus here's the $1,000 option that the Boca vet down the street will tell you. So very special thank you to them. And do you have anybody else that you want to thank?
Well, you guys, because I was basically, by the time I called you, I was having like an emotional breakdown because I was running on absolutely no sleep because I was getting up every 2.5 hours. I was falling behind at work. I didn't know how I was gonna like pay for all the formula because they were going through like a can every 2 days, and I needed help. And you guys really backed my play.
Well, I said I'll help you as much or as little as possible, but don't think that you're bothering me with this because this is like a treat.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
like
what you live
enjoyed
for.
it. We were like, okay, when's the next day we're gonna get them? How cute.
So now you can see they've all been
Fed.
properly fed and they've been raised. So far so good. They're all happy and they're all acclimated to the environments really well. Jack's outside. He's dying to come back inside. He's been banished outside because
He's their real mother.
He ruins the
Not
videos.
us.
He's been a great mom to them the whole
Yeah,
time.
protecting them.
Again, thank you to everybody that helped out along the way. Amazing job, Chelsea, still getting all your orders out this whole time. Amazing job, Marissa, who had to learn how to bottle feed and stimulate baby animals. For those of you that don't understand what stimulating baby animal means, it means that you are making them poop and pee on
With
your finger,
one
basically, because they can't do it on their own yet. And it's actually probably one of the cutest things in the world, although it sounds gross.
It sounds terrible,
Even-
but it's not that bad.
The most messy poops were the cutest.
Yep. Anybody who feels like that maybe that they could have the patience or time to foster a baby like that, I encourage you to do it. There's plenty of fosters needed, and there are so many babies that need help when they're young like this because just like Chelsea said in the beginning, if you call any of the vets and say, I got a whole bunch of 4-day-old cats, they're just going to euthanize them. So it's either they're out on their own to probably die or they're getting brought somewhere to be put to sleep. So spay and neuter your pets. And that's it. I won't keep on rambling.
Well, thank you for everything, for all the guidance and stuff, you know?
thanks, man.
And you supported everybody and made it happen, so.
Well, now there'll be 3 here, 2 with her. She has pets of her own also. And they will have a big German Shepherd to hang out with.
Oh yeah, he's their guardian. You can't get enough of him.
And they have Jackie here who
He's out there.
Jack loves the baby cat, so he's been really good through all this. And it's exciting. It's an exciting time. This first phase was so important in making sure that they stayed alive, and I feel like a very strong sense of pride, I guess, is the word that I would use right now, that we did this the way we did. And that's it. I thought it would be nice to put this little message out there rather than just give each other a hug and trade our cats. But if you guys, again, if I didn't ramble too much, if you guys can take one thing from this, donate to the shelters, foster if you can, and spay and neuter your damn cats. And to all the other cat moms and cat dads out there, I know you're watching. For Jordan Says and Miss Rissa, you know who I am. So bye.